Welcome to the Next Big Flip podcast, where small flips lead to big wins. I'm your host, LaJuan Diggs, longtime reseller and the author of 20 Years of Flipper and the Craigslist Hustle. Around here, the Next Big Flip isn't always about making the most money. It's about the flip that mattered when you needed it most. Each episode brings you real stories, practical tips, and encouragement to help you start or grow your reselling side hustle, one meaningful flip at a time. The Next Big Flip. Let's get into it. So according to her TikTok profile, it reads, Boy Mom, Thrift Addict, Sharing Real Life Thrift Finds. Tiana, is that how you would pretty much explain or sum up yourself in this season of life?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a mom to a 5-year-old boy. He's on the spectrum, so that's how this all started, was me finding something to do when my son first started therapy because I didn't want to be too far from him. So I started thrifting, and it turned into a side hustle for me.
That is so interesting. So where are you located at currently?
So I'm currently in Tampa, Florida.
Okay. How long have you been in the Florida area?
My whole life. Grew up, born and raised in Florida.
Wow. So you're pretty familiar with what people like in the Florida area. So you said you got introduced more when with your son being on the spectrum, you wanted to be closer to him. So who introduced you to it? Did you see something on YouTube, TikTok, or your friends?
So I was actually on TikTok. TikTok showed me, that's really where I learned a lot of stuff was from TikTok. And that's why I got introduced to reselling as well.
Wow. Okay. So when it comes to reselling, like what are some of your items that you like to resell?
I'll sell anything that makes me some money. So I mainly do clothes, but I'll really sell anything. That's
the same thing. Like I got started about 20 years ago in flipping, and I tell people I will resell anything that will keep me out of jail. And so I'm the same way. And so what do you usually go with? Are thrift stores the only place where you find your items?
No, so I'll go to the thrift stores. Like today I'm out at thrift stores. Sundays and usually 1-2 days out of the week I'll be at the flea markets, and then on Saturdays I do yard sales and estate sales.
Now, are you doing a lot of this by yourself, or do you take some of your family or friends along with you?
I do all of it by myself, except my mom might come with me to the flea market one day a week if she wants to find some stuff, but otherwise it's just me. Now,
do you ever have people that say, hey, will you teach me how to do what you're doing?
Yeah, all the time, but it's one of those things where this is why you shouldn't mind sharing things with other people, because most of the time, 99% of those people aren't going to do what they're asking for, like information for.
That's true. They just want to hear you talk about it, and then they act like they're going to do it. I've had so many people buy my book in the past, but never have actually read it or decided to do anything with it. So it's funny.
Yeah, so everyone's like, oh, I don't want to share my secrets. I don't want to share my secrets or where I get my stuff from. But it's like, just share it. You know, some people, there's only a few percent that's actually going to take it and run with it.
That's true. And I believe that there is enough to go around for everybody. There are like so many items and so many buyers. And so
so many.
It is crazy,
There's
right?
enough to go around.
It is. Now, when it comes to you buying and reselling items that you find, how do you know if something is worth buying to resell? What stands out to you?
Honestly, number one thing is weird things sell. So if something's weird, or if it stands out, or it's old, I'm looking it up. I'm trying to see the comps on it. I'm trying to see how much it's worth. And a lot of the times it's worth something. It's those weird finds that really I felt so many articles of clothing now, I can tell quality.
Huh. Now, when you say weird things, can you think of anything that comes to mind where you was like, there's no way this is going to sell, but it sold?
Yeah, I picked up this ballerina porcelain frog, and it sold within 12 hours for like over $100.
No, and I know you was probably thinking, dang it, I should have listed it for $200.
Yeah, I was like, this is so weird. I was like, and his eyes were like staring at me weird, and I was like, I gotta look this up.
Now,
yeah, sure enough.
What? Now, what did you resell it at? Was it on Facebook Marketplace or eBay?
No, eBay.
Really? So is eBay, is that still a thing today?
Oh, eBay is the biggest selling platform. That's where you're going to get your biggest audience is from eBay.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, eBay's number one.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, it's number one. That's where you'll get the most viewers, the most eyes on an item.
Wow, I need to go back to eBay. Years ago, when I first started out in the early 2000s, I sold a computer on eBay, not knowing that I should have asked for delivery signature confirmation, and the buyer emailed me back, told me he received the item. But about 2 weeks later, I get a notification from my credit card company that it was a chargeback stating he did not receive it. And according to eBay's according to eBay's rules, since I did not request that signature confirmation, they put a hold on my account. But thankfully, I had already taken the money out, but I was no longer able to use that eBay account again. And I had like over 700 positive reviews. And so from that point, I just stopped using eBay. But you're telling me people are still using eBay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my!
I think eBay's number one.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look into it again. And so, would you have any type of tips for people who are looking to start out in flipping items like what you're doing?
Yeah, just start. That's the number one tip. Just start. Start with the things in your house. Anything that you're not using, just look it up. See what it's worth. List it. You just gotta start. Just start.
Wow. And how long did you say you've been doing this? I know you said your son is 5. So have you been doing it for 5 years?
No, I've been doing this for a little like a year or so now, on and off. But I just started taking it seriously like maybe 3 months ago.
Wow. Interesting.
So I hope to take it from a side hustle to a full-time hustle next year.
Come on, full-time hustle. Now, let me ask you, that's one thing to do what you're doing, but what inspired you to start sharing it like on social media platforms? Because like you said, a lot of people are like, I don't want to share my tips, but you're actually sharing this.
Because that's how I learned. So I learned so much stuff from other people on TikTok or their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And like, going out to yard sales and stuff, some of the things you would just pass by. But for instance, I seen this lady talk about this old rocket, and she was like, if this was complete, I would get so much money for this. Sure enough, I seen one at a yard sale, and I was like, I'll take that. And sure enough, I got like 5 of them, and they were worth over $200.
Wow.
So something that I would, and there were so many people at this yard sale that just looked past it, and I would have too. So I'm like, if every little video that someone shares something different, we're all learning from it, and that all could be money put in someone's pocket, you know?
That is so true. That is so true. And let me ask you, so what is one flip that you felt like may have been like your next big flip? Not necessarily something that brought you a lot of money, but it was something that helped you to continue doing what you're currently doing.
Every vintage flip, for me, I love vintage, and I think every vintage flip I do, it keeps me going. It just keeps that fun in it for me.
Now, is there a certain place where you actually find like these vintage items? Is it more so at thrift stores, yard sales, or just anywhere you go usually?
Anywhere. There are so many things everywhere. You just gotta educate yourself every day and know what you're looking for, and the things are out there.
Now, how hard is it to like ship these vintage items? Is it a certain way depending on do you have like bigger furniture items that you only sell locally, or how do you usually navigate that with the bigger items?
I don't really pick up bigger items unless I know I can flip it on Facebook Marketplace quickly, because I just don't want to store these things. But for shipping, if it's fragile, I just bubble wrap the heck out of it with some peanuts and double box it. But otherwise, most things I can just throw in a poly bag or a box and it's good to go.
And I come across vintage items a lot, and I'm like, well, this is not going to sell on Facebook Marketplace, but you're saying eBay is like your go-to spot to sell a lot of the items that you get.
Especially for vintage, eBay. A weird thing sell on eBay.
Huh.
I'm telling you, the weird things, I mean, just so many weird things sell on eBay. You just wouldn't even think there's a market for half of these things, and there is.
Now you are piquing my curiosity now, because I'm always looking for something to buy and resell. I buy and resell mainly washers and dryers. I believe they are like the most slept on item, or washers and dryers.
Wow, yeah, that is. I would have never thought of that.
When I tell you, because everybody needs a washer and dryer. I have been into households where I have delivered a washer and dryer set. They did not have any furniture, but they bought the washer and dryer first, because everybody needs a washer and dryer. If you don't believe me, let your washer and dryer break down and go to the laundromat for a month. You're going to say, I need me a washer and dryer. And so,
yep. I've been there. I've been there.
And so I sell a lot of those, but you're telling me vintage items, and I'm like, okay, let me keep my eye open for some vintage items, and then let me get reintroduced back to eBay, because I buy some stuff on eBay, but like I said, I haven't sold anything on there in years, just because I've been kind of, hesitant to do so based on my previous experience.
No, I think now compared to back then, they have a way better like buyer protection policy now. Back to when before it was like you just get refunded.
Wow. Okay. So let me ask you, what's one thing that you wish you knew earlier in your flipping game that would have saved you some time or money that you've learned here recently?
Sell through rate. That's one thing that in the beginning when I was just doing it kind of like for fun, like shop for free type of thing,
Yeah.
that I would have looked up the sell through rate. Like sell through rate really is everything to not losing money
So explain
in
that.
reselling.
So you say sell through rate?
Yes, that's like like the supply and demand. How many are listed and how many are selling in 90 days. So you don't want to sit on an item for a year.
Okay.
You know, you want to make sure that the item you're picking up is going to sell fast and sell for a good profit.
So what are you using to determine this sell through rate?
eBay.
eBay, huh? So if you found like a vintage item, you would look on eBay to try to find something similar, and then just see.
Yeah, so you look it up to see like what's listed, and then you can see the sold comps on like how many have sold in 90 days.
Okay.
And then if it's like a rare vintage item though, like that frog that had sold, they have like a history, like a 3-year history. We can go back and look 3 years back and kind of see if it's something like that has sold before and for how much.
So eBay is almost trying to put you in a position to win when you come across certain items to resell.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So sell through rate. So if you had known that a lot sooner, you would not have sat on certain items as long as you did.
Oh, yeah. There's so many items I wouldn't have picked up. In the beginning, you don't really know what you're doing. It's all a learning game.
Right. Wow. Okay. Okay. So sell through rate. I'm taking notes. I'm like a learner as I'm going through these interviews. I'm like finding so many tips, and more importantly, I'm excited to help other people. So sell through rate is very important.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing for any beginner reseller is sell through rate.
Now,
especially when you don't have a lot of money to start with.
Right.
And you want to keep flipping that money to make more money.
Okay.
The sell through rate will be such a big thing for anyone.
Now, I've watched quite a few of your TikTok videos, but I may have missed it. Do you have a video going into detail about a sell through rate by chance?
No, I don't. But there are so many. A lot of the bigger resellers really stress sell through rate, and they have so many videos on it.
Yeah.
Some of the pages I watch are like Tech and Sports. He was a really big reseller. J Ride Flips is another good one.
And what's interesting, I have not heard of any of these people, but I found you. So with that being said, there's going to be people that find your TikTok and not find those others. So I would encourage you to make a video on sell through rate because that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now let me ask you: do you have any books or podcasts or tools that have helped you along the way in your flipping journey?
Number one is like really the TikTok community of resellers. Everyone helping each other with our short videos, our what sold videos, our tips, and then the YouTube channels like Tech and Sports and J Ride Flips, just letting you know like once you get to a bigger store, these are the things you need to do. So just really the social media community.
Nice. Do you have any inspiration to grow your business to the point of maybe let's say getting a storefront, or do you like just hustling right out of your home?
I love hustling out of home. The most I want to get to is a storage unit. But besides that, I'm good. I still want to have the freedom and the flexibility to be present with my son and not be gone all the time.
Yes.
So it's just mainly me. It's just me and him. So as long as I have a flexible schedule to take him to therapy, flexible my schedule to pick him up when therapy gets canceled, and to do things with him and be present every day. That's all that's important to me. So
it's very interesting how much freedom thrifting and reselling brings you, especially as a parent, single parent. That was the main reason I did what I did back in the day, because I never aspired to be, a millionaire per se. I mean, if it comes, it comes, but I wanted freedom. Right. I wanted time with my family and with my friends. And so every flip afforded me the opportunity to have more time with my family and friends. And so hearing you say that is very, very inspiring. And I know there are going to be a lot of people who hear this and say, wow, let me follow Tiana. Let me learn what she's doing, because if she can do it as a single mom, surely I can do it as well. And so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, especially for us parents who have support needs children, who are a lot like working a normal 9 to 5 really isn't possible between therapies, the travel time to therapies, last minute cancellations of therapies. finding a way to make money and having the flexible schedule and the amount of money that you can make from reselling truly is incredible. And you're still able to show up for your child and spend time and do those fun things. That's like, that's the things I'm most grateful for reselling. It's if special parents knew that you could go out there and resell and not worry about having a 9-to-5 job, I think it would take a weight off a lot of parents,
Yeah.
struggling to work a 9-to-5, go to therapy, be present with their child, and not be burnt out.
It's interesting. So as I'm listening to you and my mind just goes in so many directions, and I'm always thinking of creative ideas and all kind of stuff. And so as I hear you say that, I'm like, okay, Tiana, it would be so awesome if you had like a behind the scenes podcast or, something with your TikTok, not exploiting your son per se, but just going into detail exactly what you just said, just how you as a single mom are able to afford the freedom with your son, doing what you're doing through thrifting. That's going to inspire, because there are a lot. One of my nephews is autistic as well. He's almost 30. And so just his mom working 2 and 3 jobs. If she had known something like this back in the day, I could have seen her doing it. And so just as I'm just throwing little nuggets out there to you, I would watch it.
Yeah. It's definitely this is like reselling definitely is life changing, I could say, to be honest.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, any advice, and I know you said earlier just to get started, but any advice that you would give someone who's hesitant to start a side hustle? What's like one small step someone could take this week to get started?
Find 3 things in your house that you don't use, list them on eBay, and see what happens. When you hear that first cha-ching, you're going to be addicted.
So find 3 things on eBay that you do not currently use, list them on eBay, and see what happens. Oh my goodness.
And as soon as you hear it, list them anywhere. Poshmark, Depop, Mercari. Actually, don't do Mercari because it's the slowest selling platform. But do any of the other 3.
Okay.
And see if once you get that first sale, that's it. I feel like that's what sucks you in. That first sale sucks you in. You just got to start.
So Poshmark, I've sold some shoes on Poshmark back in the day, thinking that it was a scam of a website as well. I'm older. I was born in the 1900s, and so I'm still learning a lot of stuff. But Poshmark is a great place as well. So do you sell quite a bit on Poshmark from time to time?
Yeah. So eBay and Poshmark, those are my top platforms, and then Depop would be next. But Depop is like for the younger kids, so like the Y2K stuff.
Okay.
And then Mercari is just, I don't even know. It's just a random sale here and there.
I'm pretty sure most of you have heard the phrase, "It's a small world after all." A lot of times we use that phrase when we may meet someone and find out they know the same person that you know, and you say, wow, it's a small world. In that sense, it is a small world, but the world is also a big place with a lot of places that have yet to be traveled. And so I like to ask my guests from time to time, do you have a bucket list place you would like to visit? Because in my book, 20 Years of Flipper, I go into details how I use my side hustle along with another little gem that I like to call free flying. And I was able to take my family all around the world to several countries within 6 continents. And so I encourage you, visit nextbigflip.com and check out the book, 20 Years of Flipper. And now Tiana is going to go into some details about some bucket list places she would like to visit, as well as what she would do while she's there. Wow. Now let me see. So for me, I still currently flip and resell items today, but a major part of my children's childhood was to be able to take them just to different places and travel. So do you have any type of goals with your current flipping that you're trying to do, whether buy something, travel?
So by next year, I want to be doing this full time, and I plan to like every month or 2 be like in a different state, kind of trying to thrift, and then take my son out and to like see different places.
Yeah.
And that's really the goal, to be able to like travel but be working, so I'm getting paid at the same time. Okay.
Now as far as travel, do you have a bucket list place here in the States and also out of the country? Do you have a place that you would like to visit?
Oh gosh. So New York, I want to go to New York. I want to do the thrift stores. I want to do the flea markets. I love flea markets. Everyone sleeps on flea markets. Just sweat a little bit. It's worth it, and flea markets are great.
Okay.
But out of the country, Japan. I'm Japanese, so I've been to Japan already, and I want to go to Tokyo and thrift my heart out.
And thrift your heart out. I was just in Tokyo about 4 weeks ago. My wife and I, we were
really?
we went to the Philippines for 2 weeks, and we came back through Tokyo and stayed a few days. And so, but I did not think about thrifting. So thrift stores in Tokyo?
Yes, vintage. Japanese, they hold a very high standard for quality. So they're like vintage designer and stuff.
Okay.
Is cheaper, and it's in very good condition.
So let's say if you went to Tokyo and you was able to come away with 3 suitcases full of items, would you just bring them back here to the States and put them back on eBay, Poshmark, and all of that?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. And
some people actually do that.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, like, my mind thoughts are just going randomly in my mind. I'm like, wow, how come I didn't think about going to the thrift stores when I was in Tokyo? That is crazy.
Yeah, like even if you go on like eBay Japan and you want to buy designer,
okay,
it's cheaper too, and it's in good condition.
That is okay. Yeah. So that's very interesting to know. And so also, with me, for years I worked for the airlines, Delta, American, US Air, and that's older airlines. But with that being said, I was able to fly pretty much free domestically in the United States. And then when we would travel outside of the country, we would only pay the taxes. So for instance, my wife and I traveled to Bangkok, Thailand, and we paid $80 per person sitting in business in business class. And so these tickets were normally about $8,000 to $14,000 a piece, depending on when you purchased your ticket. So we paid $80 per person in business class. And so
that's amazing.
It's very amazing. And so having flight benefits like that afforded me the opportunity to travel all around the world. But I never was able to, put my side hustle with my travel benefits. And so now as I'm hearing this opens up a whole new mindset for me. Travel to like a Tokyo or somewhere and buy some clothes from the thrift store and bring them back.
Yeah, people do that all the time. They get vintage designer and just sell it over here. I mean, in Japan, there's such a high standard for quality and stuff. So
interesting. Well, I absolutely believe, Tiana, based on the path that you're taking, that you're going to be able to take that trip back to Japan with your son and be able to travel to New York.
That's the goal. I hope so. My son loves New York. So by the time when we would go to New York, I wasn't reselling at the time. So,
okay.
But now I'm like, all right, we're going to go back, but we're going to thrift a little bit this time.
Make sure you take your lot of empty suitcases and,
right?
and all that good stuff. So that's exciting. With Tiana, I am so thankful for you taking this time to chat with me. I will be sure to upload your TikTok and socials onto this podcast episode so people can follow along with you. And I thank you. Do you have any closing thoughts that you would like to share with our listeners?
No, thank you for having me on. And I just want to tell everyone, just start. Like, I know I've said it a bunch of times, but literally just start.
Just start.
You got to start somewhere, and just start right now.
And so if you all can hear that, Nike said just do it, and Tiana is saying just start. And I truly believe that is where you start at, is just by starting something. So the next big flip, let's do it.